All right, what's going to be Evil Geniuses versus Immortals now? Already into the draft, in fact. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Dakota here, of course. We got Draskyl and Lyrical on the couch. Guys, that was a hype first match. I assume you guys were watching that while playing some Smash, it looked like. But,
we were.
I wasn't playing Smash. I would have gotten bodied.
I don't know. I think you're okay.
All right. Well, we got
Somebody
EG
else
versus
got
Immortals now,
destroyed.
guys. This is another fun one ahead of us here. EG, that's, in case you missed it, day number 1 did not go that well for them.
Yeah.
Last 3 games, so they're 2-3 currently. A must-win of sorts.
I mean, they did play the big 3.
Yeah.
You know, they had to play Optic, they played VGJ Storm, and then Complexity, which based on that last game, Complexity, they can hang with the top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this means Evil Geniuses have to win every game moving forward if they want to secure a playoff position. Now we have Immortals. I keep saying it, like Immortals. Where have they been? They're gone, half a year plus. Are they in like the power chamber, slowly becoming this huge evil being as they burst out?
Wait, isn't it like the hyperbolic time chamber?
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
What it is? Yeah, I was like,
I'm hoping they've been sitting in the hyperbolic time chamber, but who have they been scrimming in the meantime? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't know what they've been doing.
Just
apparently their record's like 1-2.
I think they're 2-2.
2
Maybe
and 2?
1-2. Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Here they are on the mainstream. I'm excited to welcome back the Korean overlords. Let's see what they bring.
Yeah. 3 of the 5 players.
I think this is one of the scarier types of teams to run into in the best of ones as well. And to be honest, the way that, again, I haven't seen any of these games. We've been covering Europe ourselves. But it feels like EG is struggling to find a foot in this one. So I'd be a little bit concerned if there was a team to potentially knock them down. It would be Immortals, I would say.
They've also been running a lot of Magnus. So yet again, first pick here. They're the only team that's running Magnus.
I mean,
right
you
now.
got son of the Lord of Magnus
well,
himself.
don't worry, in EU we get Magnus like every game.
Really?
So, yeah.
I'm jealous, man.
Wind
Magnus
and
is a
rain.
hype hero to get every game.
Yeah, it's been like even first phase banned against some teams.
That's hype.
Huh. Well, picked up here. Phoenix is another one that it's a fly specialty. He likes this hero, and so sticking to comfort. And you know, when this is on the line, 2-3 record, it's probably for the better against a team like Immortals. Night Stalker, 3rd pick. Have not seen a lot of Night Stalker so far in the event, but
It's okay. We've seen it all the time in EU.
just these regions,
like,
man.
Yeah, like Sky, Mag, and Night Stalker have all been super prevalent in the EU qualifiers so far. We haven't seen a lot of Venom. We've seen actually like 0 Bane. I don't think there was a single game that at least I've personally cast in the EU qualifiers that had a Bane in it. So.
Yeah. Just out of the previous game, but similar here, honestly, overall in NA. Been the case, but picked up here by Immortals' first pick to go with the Venomancer, of course, and that was actually a first pick overall Bane on top of that with the Magnus Skyrath response. But yeah, Phoenix Skyrath very likely going to be a supporting cast now, so EG needing a middle, needing a safe lane.
There's that ban on the Clinks we were talking about before the draft because, you know, you get a Magnus, you're going to have someone who can put on the boxing gloves a bit, so it's got to be maybe the PA that they've pulled out in previous drafts.
That they have.
Or, you know, Slark, which apparently I guess we haven't seen any in NA. We've maybe seen a little bit in CIS, but could have Slark here, or what else is there?
Juggernaut's a classic always, but...
Are these just the heroes that you guys have been seeing so far?
Juggernaut, no. We're just thinking of Magnus and Power Synergy.
Yeah.
Really. PA has been one we have seen a bit.
PL, yes, of course.
So a lot of the time, like when you're thinking about picking PA or Jug, like PA is kind of hard to run into this lineup of Immortals because BKB doesn't necessarily feel super good against Fiend's Grip when you have a couple of ways to stop it, but later on in the game, you're not really going to be able to, I think, high ground with the heroes that they currently have, and that's kind of been the constant theme in EU as well. Is that you pick really strong laners, but you don't necessarily have the ability of going high ground early into the game. So having a hero like PL gives you what we call like a hard win condition, which right now nothing on the side of Immortals can deal with it in any way whatsoever. And it's also a 4th pick. So Immortals have some time to adapt, but I do kind of like EG's draft. My one, I guess, critique on it would be that their support cast offers not really any sort of guaranteed catch. Like that, how do you start a fight is basically like the name of the game.
Really
and
no
right now,
lockdown.
Yeah, it's going to be walk up to tower, hit tower, or your last pick is going to be the hero that starts your fights.
Right now, their only actual stun is, well, I guess, our 2 ultimates, RP as well as Supernova.
I mean, it's not necessarily a super bad thing because they have one more pick to fix it. And from what you were saying, I'm guessing the last pick's probably going to be Sumail's hero. So they can pick something that can start fights in that regard.
This hero right here has been the one that to me has stood out in EU. Also, when I was casting Southeast Asian Opens, the team with the Ember Spirit tended to win as well. I think he's got a pretty good win rate, and I think it's just because it's like one of these heroes that you can play super fast, you can start fights in a way that I feel like doesn't really require that much
it's
commitment
not
from you.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, also, I think it's a good matchup against the Phantom Lancer as the game goes later if you go the Magic build.
It can be. It's just very active.
Yeah.
There's a really big emphasis. Again, I don't know how it's been in the NA qualifiers as much because we're usually asleep by now. But when the games that we've cast, it's usually the team that has the slower cores, as in the ones that take longer to come online, typically just lose the game.
Yep.
Like anytime you pick a hero, we've seen Spectre. I think it won one game in the qualifiers, and then every other game it's just been stomped. Morphling has lost a handful of times as well. So you just pick this hero, Ember, who goes in a almost isolated 1v1 in every game because people are doing 2-1-2 all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't really have a lot of horrible matchups. And considering that they've picked it now, there is an opportunity for it to be counterpicked. But we've also seen it lane swapped into safe lane. So maybe Immortals have the same idea. Maybe they've been watching some of the European games.
Kind of a subtle thing, too, is that, with the Phoenix pick, the Fire Spirits can be annoying for some of these right-click cores, but Venomancer and Ember Spirit aren't necessarily heavily relying on that. They have their spells to take care of damage, so kind of a workaround in that sense, too. But, the lack of lockdown is also what scares me for EG against that Ember Spirit, if anything. Like we talked about, Huskar final ban.
That's a good ban.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, how do we start a fight, a good way to start a fight is a Huskar hitting your tower, and 4 magic damage heroes go, how do we kill Huskar? And then, you're forced to either commit or split push the map or something like that. So it's definitely a solid bet.
We saw Huskar once, at least that I can recall in the NA. It was probably the most dominating game we had. It's Optic versus Leviathan, I think it was. And also very good in the Ember Spirit matchup. Very good. So, final pick for Immortals. Again, it really depends what that Venomancer is going to be, isn't it? Because Night Stalker could be an offlane. That's where we've seen him more lately. And then will that mean Veno 4, or is that going to be a Veno 1?
I think I like Veno 1 better, personally.
Against PL? I don't know. Seems kind of weird.
Yeah. Some kind of cleave presence.
Oh,
there's the Spectre.
There's the Spectre that you're talking about there, Draskyl, the late
they
game.
get one fast core, one slow core.
Yeah.
So one creates the space for the Spectre to get the farm that he wants. And during the late game, Spectre is going to definitely put a hindrance on heroes like Magnus and Skywrath. They really hate playing against Haunt.
So the one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is, and the reason I kind of like the idea of the Veno in the safe lane more is because Gale purgeable now, obviously. Doppelganger not really going to be able to do it, which he's going to need to go for the wards build. And there's a couple of heroes that can kind of, I don't know about deal with it in the early stage, so I'm just wondering what the Veno is going to do early on. I guess you just pair together with the Night Stalker and go Poison Touch and try and punch people.
Veno Night Stalker lane is still pretty
annoying.
Yeah, it's very strong, and I guess the Doppelganger having a Dispel, it'll be interesting to see if they decide to put the Bane with the NS or the Veno instead, because typically, what lane do you want to help? That's the Spectre lane. The Spectre lane is the one you want to support, so in my opinion, Bane is probably the better lane support for him. And maybe the Veno does go the ward build, maybe it doesn't. I'm kind of leaning towards no, just because you want kill potential, and wards don't offer you the ability to kill. Against a Skywrath, for example, if you land a Gale, the hero just falls over against NS.
Okay.
Storm versus Ember matchup is what we get yet again. Sumail versus MP. Final pick Storm. What do you think, Dakota?
Sumail Storm. I mean, each team now have a slow core and a fast core to kind of get into the fight. Is Spectre good enough to break the egg and such? Is the egg going to cause a lot of chaos in these fights? So they
That's
can
a
have
good
enough
point,
answers for it?
It depends how the engagements kick off.
Yeah. I mean, Spectre could haunt. It could ruin Magnus's initiation. But if Magnus gets the upper hand, jumps in first, then Phoenix can set up a wonderful egg in the backdrop while Sumail's jumping around. I don't even know who you focus if you're Immortals on this one and you do get the upper hand and jump in.
I mean, you definitely want to, in the mid game at least, Silence is going to be either put on the Bird, the Phoenix, or it's going to be put on Sumail. Those are the heroes you want to silence.
Mm-hmm.
Take away Storm's mobility, he's dead. Take away the ability to egg, Phoenix dies. And that hero definitely offers the most amount of team fight, minus a mag having Blink Dagger. So those would probably be my priority targets if I were Immortals.
I just feel like EG have a lot more oh, you're focusing on one guy, we have a Magnus to jump in, or a Sumail to jump in, or a Phoenix egg delay in the back, while Immortals, it's oh, you jumped our Spectre, maybe Emperor will jump in, but everyone else, it's they better be there, or, they're going to be lacking a lot of mobility. I guess I'm just saying EG have more mobility to get to a fight and kind of, turn things around even if they get jumped.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. This patch for me is very heavily lane dependent. And sometimes what happens is, if you look at Immortals lineup, and we saw this in the EU region not even a couple of hours ago, there was a game where they had a Spectre, and they also had a Huskar. So the Huskar was the one who was pretty much pushing the tempo for his team and creating space for the Spectre, but the Huskar push ended up failing like 1 or 2 times, and then all of a sudden your Spectre's not quite online, so there's like this 5 to 10 minute gap where that hero is going to need to be able to farm up another item, whether it be Radiance or Manta-style Diffusal or what have you. So it's still going to be up to Immortals, I think, to push the pace here and create space for that hero.
But what you're saying, Breaky, is that this is an important game.
Yeah.
Again, EG are expecting to win every game moving forward if they want to remain at the top and get into the playoffs. Immortals, a team who I'm sure would love to surprise a lot of people. I know they've been in the dark, but they're hoping to be like the Bane and just show up and take things over and be the ultimate, big rival into that top 4 position.
It's definitely potential. Anything could really happen still in these groups of the NA region. And yeah, for me, the Evil Genius lineup, I go back to what I talked about when they first started the draft. And this is a mix of, because of being that 2-3 record, I think, but also a newer roster of sorts still with Fly and S4 joining. It's a very comfortable lineup. You look at who's playing what. These are all very comfortable heroes for them. Fly, meanwhile, taking some harassment. Dubu running after him. I love comfortable.
He's looking
decidedly
uncomfortable,
yeah,
actually.
Fly is probably dead.
Uh-oh.
Dubu picks up. Move Void used.
Is
Velo dead?
Velo kill as well.
No, he's fine.
So, I actually think I like the Immortals draft more, but I think that EG is the better team, and I think that they're probably going to win this game, but I'd be a little bit concerned about it. I certainly don't think it's going to be easy. Sumail needs to really start taking off, and I think it's a pretty good matchup against the Spectre in a lot of ways. Like, you can shut him down early on, but I think the X Factor is going to be MP on this Ember Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this is a 3-item game for Storm Spirit. He needs Kaya, Orchid, BKB, and then his game becomes very, very simple. But until that point, there's a lot of ways he can die. And that's going to be the time in which Immortals need to make their mark on the game.
BKB over the Lincolns, you think?
Oh, absolutely. And when you're against Ember Spirit, Night Stalker, and Bane, if you don't have a BKB, you're going to have a sad time.
Yeah.
You get hit by 1 Searing Chains and you don't have a way to dispel yourself, you are dead.
I think it's worth it to even go the Yules first.
I think that more often than not, you're probably better off just going for the standard Treads Kaya and then deciding. Because the Orchid gives you the presence on the map. And I think that's what they're going to need, because Arthur is playing the hard one, he's playing the PL. So Sumail is going to have to be the one going around the map looking for kills. And in that regard, I think that the Orchid plays better into that style than going for something like a Yules to just play it, quote-unquote safe.
I know it's early, but CS-wise, EG is dominating right now in all 3 lanes. What they're working with. Yeah, Magnus leading the way overall 9-3. Storm Spirit though 9-2 against a 3-1 Ember Spirit. Ay, that's not good. That was actually crit. Okay.
That's a tier 2 tower.
That's well, he's dead.
Yeah,
Curious why he was there.
Guy getting frisky, loves to put those arcane bolts out, even if it means diving through to tier 2.
I suppose, yeah, he was just trying to survive that whole time, just simply missed it.
Space, I suppose.
He's living.
Yeah, the Mag is in control of this top lane. S4 is going to have a nice early burst of farm. Not sure if it's like a straight to blink kind of a game or what. I actually have not seen too much Magnus. I know you guys are talking about you see Magnus all the time, but
yeah,
I haven't seen any Magnus.
The build in EU that we've been seeing. Okay, he's got stick. All right.
Yeah, but still, one more.
Shockwave level 2. Yeah, not in time though.
So we've been seeing people are buying Vanguard and or Hood, like whatever amount of whatever damage output the enemy team has, that's what you itemize for, and then you go blink after.
So they still get that like 1 utility, and then
they typically, because Magnus has a 200 health 10 at level 10, and then you put a Vanguard on top of that, you have 2,000 HP at level 10 with that item and your talent.
But would you say this is a pipe game, Venomancer, Ember?
I would say Hood into pipe over Vanguard.
So maybe fitting the Hood into blink. We'll see what he goes though.
Yeah.
Febby,
he's trying to survive, but
first kill for EG.
And I mean, it's definitely. I don't know if they're going to do that for sure, but that's just what people have been building, and we've seen a lot of Magnus.
I believe we've seen it again S4 a couple times played, and I want to say he usually goes that Vanguard like you're talking about. Again, this game specifically, maybe the Hood wouldn't make more sense, but that utility itemers are calling it first, and then the blink. So probably similar here, but again, S4, he's having a fantastic time at the top lane now with a kill on top of that. Also middle lane. Yeah. Ember's catching up a little bit, but Sumail's still winning it.
Yeah, first night's going to be relatively important here for Immortals. They need to try to find at least a handful of kills.
So, and like, I think that they need to rotate out with the Night Stalker to do it.
They're
like,
already moving him, yeah.
You look at like the Phoenix and the Doppelganger PL, like there's no way that they find a kill on those with like Gale leveled up and stuff. Like, it's going to be kind of
He's
tough.
holding his points. Interesting.
Oh, there you go. Picks up Sunray level 2 with those points. Velo will take some good damage as a result, but be fine. Dubu using that first nighttime comes back in. He's only level 2 himself, though. So not the scariest threat necessarily, and Arteezy sees that.
One
Stands
little
the ground.
spirit, and suddenly the right clicks are not going to
Yeah.
come as hard.
Those things.
It's nice to have the bird as your little guardian angel there, but
it's
now you don't
PL
have
dead.
anything else to offer, and the PL's in trouble.
Okay, or he can just
Nicely
get
done.
silenced. And
That was such a value skill right there.
Yeah.
holy
I
crap.
didn't even notice he had that at level 2 initially, but yeah, he did not go Hunter in the Night. He actually went the Silence instead.
No, he just hit 3 and skilled the silence. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, no, because
Didn't he?
Yeah, no, he did not have its passive when he got the kill there.
Oh, okay, okay. So he was 1-1-0.
Yeah.
Nice.
Magnus dead top lane meanwhile, too.
Danger in the night.
Yeah. So, using that first nighttime Draskyl, as you mentioned.
Yeah, the kills are important for sure, but it's also equally important to note that the CS is still drastically in EG's favor.
Yeah.
And
they're
we
still
talk at
farming.
length about this on the EU games, but a lot of the time the early kills really just don't mean that much.
I
as
mean,
long
last
as-
game was like 22-2 or whatever it
Yeah.
was, and it
I mean,
still
that
didn't
one
feel
was-
commanding.
That one
No.
was extreme.
I mean, they were
Okay?
just farming though. It was just like, oh, you got us, but we're gonna get right back in the lane, and
Right.
we are, very skilled, and we're just gonna continue to CS and CS and CS.
Sometimes it's about how you die too. Like, say you immediately TP back to a lane and then you die. That's an impactful death because you have to walk all the way back.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you just die and you're like low HP or whatever anyway, and you TP back right away, it's not. It keeps you down for like 15 seconds. It's not a big deal.
Top, Ryoya. He's possibly dead. Shockwave in
Sleep.
1. Oh, nice Nightmare. It's not going to matter. Too much nuke coming out for the Skywrath Mage. Febby holding his ground against the Skywrath with the Nightmare up, but only so much damage he can do himself, of course.
I think he took that Nightmare on purpose because he didn't want to tank the tower.
Oh, good point,
Would
yeah.
have done more damage.
Looks like a helpful Nightmare there. Still took some damage, of course, but
Yeah.
he survives. So Venomancer this game, somewhat under-farmed, but, trying his best. In fact, they're going to go for another kill on Phantom Lancer. That 5-second silence coming out, being nighttime, but this time with a Sunray heal especially, no chance. He's fine. But yeah, Venomancer, what kind of Venom build is this going to be? Is it maybe the more like the Blink, the Veil even, would it be pretty good here?
Honestly, I don't really see a lot of Veno. I'm not sure what his itemization path is going to be. But
Veil seems pretty strong in this game.
yeah, Veil is okay. But again, if S4 does go for the Hood straight into fight build, that's going to feel...
True.
It's not going to feel great.
I kind of foresee the Veno having a hard time keeping himself super relevant in this game. I'm super curious how he itemizes, because if you just make his poison better, like Andy was saying, I feel like they'll
He
just
might go
mitigate it
Dom, I
out.
guess.
Yeah, I was thinking Helm of the Dominator with that Ring of Health.
Push, side push, ways to create space. I mean, Venomancer is always annoying like that. If you jump him and finally bring him down, he may have got Poison Nova off, and you're just going to be weak and wounded, have to go heal.
Yeah.
And he just kind of creates that bit of time and space for the rest of his team.
It could also be a Hood into pipe for his own team. They have a Phoenix and a Sky that they're playing against, so it
He
wouldn't
could get
be awful.
Force, I guess, against Sky also. You want to get out of Mystic Flare or
It's-
away from PL. I'm not too sure.
These
but-
are all the items that Ring of Health can build, yes.
No, Ring of Health doesn't build Flyset.
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
It's a ring
It's a Ring of Regen.
Same for later.
You passed the test, good job. Arteezy, he's not as successful as the other cores on his team, but he's still doing fine, and didn't even take advantage of the slight pull off to the side as Febby goes down top lane. Looks like there's even a rotation here from Night Stalker, but Febby's the one that falls.
Maybe he got a little ahead of himself.
Yeah.
Ate the bad end of an Ancient Seal Shockwave. Lost all of his life.
This lane is very spam heavy, and I like the fact that S4 opted to go like for the immediate arcane boots. A lot of times we've been seeing Mags go treads and stuff like that, but because he's with such a mana dependent support, he's building the item to allow just the continuation of spam. It's good stuff.
So I don't even know who else would get Arcanes to help him out in that department. Someone's gonna need to give that man mana.
Hood is going to be the choice for S4, so goes back to that discussion earlier. Makes sense here.
I want to know what this Veno is going to do. Like, honestly, if I'm Veno in this game, I got a lot of question marks. I'm just like, what am I doing here, boys?
I guess it's sort of like, again, a lot of the heroes, like Phoenix doesn't really care that much about getting Gale down. I think he can just dive away. PL doesn't really care about it at all. Storm can ball away. Even skewering out of there, like the only hero you can really try and kill is going to be the Skywrath, and it is like some damage, but to me it feels more like his job is just like go into a lane, push it out, try and farm up, get utility items for his team, that style of play, and then eventually make space with the Ember.
The Veno Classic is just exist.
Yeah.
Get
exactly.
Veno be there, get RP'd into the team, and press
nicely
R.
done from
Oh, look
Sumail.
how slow it is. That poor Remnant.
Uh-oh.
Wanted to run.
Slowly runs away as his master dies. Yeah, Sumail just simply dives on top, and at that point didn't feel like Ember could do much. And this farm for Sumail, 4,100 net worth. He's nearly 1,000 over anyone else in the game, and that's his teammate included.
It's been a while since we've seen like a Sumail Storm show.
We saw it yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Ah. I mean, did he play it or did he actually do well?
It was in one. I believe it was in one of their victories. Yeah, he did play it.
All right.
How many victories do they have again?
2.
2
Okay.
wins, right? Are they 2 and 3? Is
They're
that what
2
their
and
score
3.
is?
Yes.
2 and 3.
Ember
Look.
top lane.
3 and 3 here.
Remnants are ready. Great sleight of fist as well as the chains. MP coming back in with the Remnant to get the kill on a Skywrath. Fly doing what he can with the beam there, but it's not nearly enough. Neil Gustav away. No Supernova yet, of course. Bane taking over middle lane. Meanwhile, double damage arena spawned. How's Spectre been doing? We're seeing a lot of these casual hoods this game. I know Phantom Lancer's also going for one.
He needs it against that lane. Sky Mag with Arcane Boots, ugh.
Yeah.
That's a disaster lane if you don't have a stick and a hood.
Sumail getting a little bit low. Instead, they turn to Skywrath with the initial Nightmare. Silence put up on Ember Spirit, though. He was not expecting that. Remnant away. Will manage to get away in the end. Very close call, though. Using those bottle charges.
Let's see how much Sumail can abuse his lead here, because he is very far ahead of MP at this point. 1,500 net worth lead at 10 minutes is substantial.
PL and Spectre going at it here at the top lane, but now Skywrath rotating in, and Royoya will actually use the Haunt to go elsewhere. In fact, to the bottom lane, maybe for a turn kill. S4. TP, a pretty good ability against these heroes.
No points in Desolate right now, and Spec meant that didn't have the damage for it. He took 2 in Dispersion.
It makes sense. I don't really see how that top lane can go in for a kill. It's just Bane Spectre.
Yeah.
He just wants to try to sustain as best he can in a really rough early game.
All right, well, I'm a bit nervous here if I'm Immortals.
Yeah.
The fast core Sumail is gonna, well, be fast. He's gonna probably pick up that Kaya, there it is, and then begin to go to work creating space for the PL. Immortals, their fast core is supposed to be the Ember, and I don't know. I don't see him really getting into the fights at this point and creating space for the Spectre.
Yeah, all he's got is a power treads
Supernova?
coming.
Is that a sun?
That is that's a Supernova right down there. RP is only going to catch Venomancer, though. Nightmare initially will save him. It's going to keep him alive for now, but no, he will be finished off with the Arcane Bolt coming through. S4, meanwhile, walking away, not going to be enough for him, so the RP not necessarily the most effective from S4. Ends up being a 2 for 2.
Spec died?
Spec did die down here during that, apparently. Yes. All right, so Storm got him.
Oh, that makes it a lot better.
That does. Solo kill. But Ember, he starts to jump up the net worth now after that fight. We were just talking about him.
Yep, still trails an item behind where Storm is at the moment, but you're right, it does help a bit.
They have this window where Immortals need to find important kills and need to be able to find an objective. Like getting the safe lane tier 1 is fine, but you need to pressure. Like when the Ember is capable of fighting, he needs to be out on the map. When you have Haunt and Fiend's Grip and stuff like that, you gotta go. Like you can't. Hesitation in this game is gonna be a killer if you're Immortals.
Look where EG are. They're like, nobody's going down there right now unless they're coming in numbers.
Top.
Nice.
Oh my god.
There's
All
no
right.
support nearby. This should be a kill. Silence right after, if anything. Yeah, Silence, no Doppelganger. The Brain Sap. That's a level 4 Brain Sap.
That's
Plenty of damage.
Hood doesn't help against that, boys.
No. So
But
nice
Grip
find.
is down, and we'll see if EG go on the offensive here. It's something Storm's not going to have to worry about for a little bit.
Yeah. He's
And
looking for a kill bottom. Ah! Sunray!
From downtown.
Chris died. Sumail will finish it indeed. The Kobe.
Oh, the range hacks, too good.
There is one kind of silver lining for Immortals here, is that EG's lineup is not very good at killing Roshan. So even if they are like semi ahead, they're 1 for 1 on towers, so they've both taken each other's safe lanes. But for the most part, EG will not be able to like straight up end the game against a Spectre lineup unless some really bad stuff happens for Immortals, right? So they have to take like a blunder of a team fight and just get wiped or something like that for EG to be able to threaten something like it. So late game Spectre is always a thing. It's always something you got to be concerned about.
In the mid lane is probably dead. Yep. Oh, easy. Sumail's going.
4-0.
He's already got one part of the Orchid.
I think it's safe to say he's taking advantage of this lead.
Oh, yes. He definitely is. This is about as comfort as it gets for Sumail.
Still some Nightfall, though, for Immortals to do work.
And if they find him, he doesn't have a way to deal with the chains either, or the silence that comes afterwards. So it's got to rely on his team to be there to back him up if he's playing this far forward.
Yeah, they have the tools.
RP's back now, too, so...
Uh-oh.
They
Silence
spotted the
first
Batman.
on Night Stalker. Yeah, they scout him out first. MP still chase it. Remnant and the RP is finally going to come out, catch the Spectre as he haunts in. Supernova down from Fly. It looks like it is going to be activated. MP decided to walk away. Dubu pops a Darkness. He cannot fly away in time, though. He takes a stun, and so did the Spectre off to the side. It finishes him off, but MP now resetting. He's going back in. Febby nearby with the Brain Sap on top of that. S4, he'll feel the burn. Double kill for MP. Meanwhile, Arteezy finally joins the fight. Spirit Lance thrown out. That'll be just distraction, if anything.
If he can hold him here, Sumail will TP back in, and they'll have that. But he'd been out of the fight for a little bit.
Yeah, he did not have any mana to start that fight.
Yeah.
Man.
But they may...
I think that Dubu actually might have found that kill as they chase.
He wants it.
He wants that kill big time. Did he overextend, though? Yes, he did. Down goes Sumail. And now they're going for more Immortals. The Phantom Lance gets locked down by the Phoenix Grip. Evil Geniuses. I got to say, that seems like a little bit of throw to me. Double kill for MP. Sumail now calls for help. That's not going to work.
I don't feel like that was a fly call right there. Just make that jump in the mid lane. He was just like, I'm back, boys. Let's go.
That went from a very reasonable trade. Like, even if it was a one for two, you got the Spectre, and you lost the support and an off lane, and then Sumail's like, hold my beer, and then just
hold my beer, boys.
Gives him that free kill. That was definitely questionable.
And now the game is pretty much neck and neck there.
And Skyroth is dead.
And now it's not.
So the Ember Spirit is now catching up, which is a problem. At first, I kind of was wondering why he decided to go bots, especially against a Storm that had such a good early game. Because, you know, he's going to have an early Orchid, right? And because the Storm timing on the Orchid is going to be so fast, you're not going to have an item to save yourself from that. But if Sumail's going to fall in like that, maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, they have a couple of different disables that actually just destroy Storm Spirit if he's not in position where his team can help him.
That was just hubris.
Yeah, exactly.
The first jump, it's like, okay, not going to get him. Jump back, boys. But he's just like, I could just do it. If I go a little bit further, I'll be that much further from my team. But he's hungry. This could help. This could help.
MP, this is deep. MP goes down, Velo.
He's out of
mana. He pops the poison over, though.
Sumail's
out of mana. He is dead. And that's, I mean, he got 950 gold for that kill, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's probably worth it.
For the gold, it was probably worth it, yeah.
He seems to think it's worth it. I mean, if that's morale, then I guess that helps even more. It does, you know? It's like...
He also gave away they have a ward there.
If you feel like it's a worthy trade, then you're still feeling good.
Fly, that's... I mean, Fly's taking some damage himself from the creeps, but yeah, he's saying hello to Spectre.
So the other thing I was trying to mention before Sumail went crazy was that in the mid lane there, when they were going in on the Supernova, I think Dubu thought that he could take it down with like a little bit of help from one, but it actually turned to daytime, and so he didn't get the attack speed anymore off the back of it because of Supernova.
Yeah.
So that interesting little buff.
MP also bailed on him super hard. He had a haster, and he's like, peace, dude, I'm out of here. You're on your own.
Yeah, you got to be all in committed, and as a team if you're going to do that, so...
Yeah, once that egg gets another level, it's going to be real tough for Immortals to break it if they want. I mean, unless they focus it, but then if you're focusing that, then you're not focusing the PL, the Storm, Magnus. So the egg could be a problem later on for sure.
It's a good Phoenix game for those reasons, exactly. Like when you don't have anyone who buys like Manta BKB to dispel that Fire Spirit.
They saw the smoke, I want to say. In fact, Phoenix just going to dive in right off the bat. MP's here in Chain Zone. They're going to get the kill on Phoenix before he gets Supernova due to the silence. Velo, he's trying to tank up against Sumail. Has that hood popped on top of it. Dubu's running away. As it's nighttime, he pops the shot at the last second. Arteezy can't finish the job, but the Shockwave will help get the job done. Storm's they do lose Storm yet again, though. Meanwhile, down here by himself in his own fight. So looking pretty good for Immortals. MP, did he overextend? Ancient Seal silence. The answer is no. He'll be fine. Crit also getting low. Ryoyo wants to finish the job, but again, he's not the most farmed yet. Not worth overextending, he says. Go backs to farm, but that's, I feel like it was a bit of Castro's curse, guys. Who we talked about 4-0-0 Sumail and how he was definitely making use, and he's been 1-3 since then.
Still top of the net worth to his credit. But yeah, I thought they were still going to have a decent time there since they put their silence and allowed their disable on the Phoenix at the initial part of it, but they just split the fight right in half and put a lot of focus onto Sumail, and he was alone.
There was a lot of miscommunication, I feel, because at the beginning of the fight, they killed the Phoenix really fast, but Sumail was committed to a completely different hero than the rest of his team. Like, he was on the right side of the fight, everyone else on HG was on the left, and they ran to chase towards Shrine, and Sumail continued to stay on the one target, like continually balling in and using his entire mana pool. So, if anything, that just shows lack of communication between the players.
Yeah. His jumps are so long that he ends up having not much mana pool to work with once
it
he
was
even
like
commits.
4 jumps in a row, and not...
You don't have that much mana yet.
Yeah,
you can tell he's like thirsty for when he has the items to back up these big boy plays, for sure.
I mean, it is sort of the mentality that I feel like you kind of want in a way from, like, if he gets that kill and gets out, then it's like, you know, that's the highlight play going the other direction. It's just that it's like making sure that you do get out. And now it's been this really rough time period where he wants to be able to finish off this Orchid, and it's how long has he had the 2 Oblivion stats, and it just keeps on being delayed ever so slightly.
He's close now.
Yeah,
and honestly, 20-minute Kaya Treads Orchid is not the worst timing. He's still the highest net worth in the game by a pretty decent margin.
And he has the levels, so he gets the talent now for 400 life. 400 life is going to help a lot in these fights.
That'll help the way he's playing,
For sure. So, you know, this could be a turn back around for...
But again, it goes back to the other thing we said too. It's a 3-item Storm game. So after the Orchid, once he gets BKB, he is free to pretty much do whatever he wants. On the other side of it, you do have MP now having the Yules.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Yeah, the Yules is great. It's protection against the Storm. They do have more than one silence, and you can actually get RP'd out of your own Yules if you're not careful. So there are some downsides to it, but it is a necessary evil.
Yeah, later if they realize that they're just going to have a big bad PL to deal with, the Yules might not feel so crazy good, but...
Yeah, he's going to have to go back for, like, Maelstrom or something, and...
But he's like, I got to deal with the first boss right now. Yep. Sumail. And a way to survive.
Well, let's not forget about Arteezy. He's now second in net worth. Diffusal finished. He's 1,000 more gold saved up. He's obviously going to become more and more of an issue, too.
Yeah, it's PL, the PL factor, the sleeping giant kind of a thing.
Ooh. Going in, Villa jump. Oh, what? Oh, that was a misclick. He TP'd. He jumped in and TP'd. He meant to click something else. Anyways, the RP helps finish him off. Arteezy, he's going to phantom rush forward onto Bane, try to survive. Doppelganger away. Can they find the real one? Arteezy for now. He is fine. Steering chase. No, they kill the illusion, but they're going to be able to kill up PL. No.
Oh my God.
Why did he not finish?
Are you kidding?
They think it's an illusion?
He thinks it's an illusion. He walks away. Meanwhile, Night Stalker's going to fly away with the silence on him, but the Glimmer Cape helping to keep him alive. I cannot believe I just saw that. Arteezy even thought he was dead.
They figured he was probably just totally somewhere else.
Maybe that he was playing possum and they fell for it.
The next label play.
That was...
Oh, no.
I can't believe they didn't see that.
Yeah.
They had the Night Stalker up there too, right? So they had night vision. They would have seen him run away. Like, because all the illusions were so low HP at that point that they just instantly die to any damage. So, yeah, I can't believe they didn't just kill him there.
Well, without that kill, it's definitely a victory for EG in that fight. And now they've been thinking about Roshan for a while. There's no vision whatsoever on the map for Immortals. So they're going to do that. Haunt is definitely on cooldown. That was used the previous fight. Again, Radiant's still not even finished on Spectre, so not much to worry
It's not
here.
the fastest Roche.
Yeah, they're still going to head over that way. Oh, Sumail wants to check out who's on the high ground. They got vision, it looks like. They just gonna blow up the Night Stalker. Sumail's back.
That's a huge one.
That'll secure it, yeah, that kill. No Haunt. Don't think Immortals have any way of fighting this now.
How about, so we're talking about that not killing Phantom, but how about the start? The Venomancer, he clearly misclicked there.
Yeah,
he literally blinked and he TP'd.
He must have had his inventory mixed up.
Yeah.
He actually swapped where his Veil was on his 4th position before.
I was going to say, look for where the TP moved to, and he might have your answer.
He didn't even poison over, did he?
No. I think he TP'd, and then his brain just was like, wait, what? And then he died.
Or he could have, like, stop to cancel TP. He's like, wait, no!
I think Draskyl's right, though. It's just one of those massive brain farts. You're like, did I just do that? And you just end up dying later, so.
Okay, so Sumail's going the greedy route because he has Aegis. Instead of going BKB, he's going to go back for Bloodstone. It's it will give him a better late game, but it does leave him susceptible to dying some more. But with the Aegis, I mean, it's the best Aegis carrier in the game, so, in my opinion at least.
It's hard to argue against that.
Bloodstone has been suspect from what I've heard from a lot of people watching these games, but
They need to get in there and silence him.
There's the Aegis use. RP on 2 though, on top of the Mystic Flare. That's at least a kill on Bane, it looks like. Skewer 4, Dooku will survive. Sumail comes back up, and he's ready for revenge. MP, Yule's gonna get out. Yes, Remnant away, he'll be fine. So they lose 2 supports to kill the Aegis.
I wonder if he goes back for the BKB now.
So much for the Aegis on Storm Spirit, though.
Knowing Sumail, he probably won't change his item choice.
No, 2800. Yeah, he's going for Bloodstone now.
That was okay for Immortals, but I don't know. Not going to get any easier. EG are going to move through and take objectives to go along with it now.
They continue to wait for the Radiance. That's where it's... And even with the Radiance, though, obviously it's still... You want more on top of that.
What's his forehead right now, item-wise? Okay, he does have the pipe already. Nice.
Yeah, the pipe finished. He's going to Eels next, even.
I mean, this is where things do get a little bit scary, the Radiance, because it's going to be breaking Blink Daggers. It's going to be causing a lot of issues. I mean, still, you've got Sumail. It's going to be a problem late game. But it's kind of like this sort of dual battle that goes on, right? Like, you've got the Spectre and the PL. Who is it that's going to get more farm going into the late game?
Silence. They're going to jump on him initially. Silence, as you mentioned. S4 running in again. No RP, though. Oh, wow. Villa just exploded there. He didn't get a Poison Nova off again. Bane dies as well. Supernova, that will go off. It stuns up. That was... They catch him. Spectre. Oof. He haunted in on top of that with no Radiance. That was a sloppy fight for Immortals, but EG will take full advantage of it.
Velo is being greedy with his Poison Nova. He could have cast it, but he wanted to try to hit more than one hero. So instead of just hitting Arteezy, he was trying to get like 3 or 4. And Chris was like, all right, you're just walking into my silence. So just threw it on him, and he just falls over.
And now EG going to capitalize, taking out Tier 3 tower more than likely. Again, you're not fighting this. I guess they still have a Poison Nova, but he's not even up for 15 seconds.
The thing about that is I don't think that they can go high ground if you just leave that Tier 2 tower to die, right? Like, did they really need to defend that?
I think that they were probably thinking if we get a Poison Nova off, even if we lose like a hero or 2 here, they won't be able to go high ground at least. But it didn't work out because Vela wasn't able to get his spells off.
MP the Eels. He's going for the turn kill, actually. Sumail, this might catch him off guard. It looks like it does. No, he gets the ball landing off the last second. Outplaying him. Galore Glimmer Cape down and they kill Sumail. Dubu comes in for the save at the last second. Yeah, without Dubu there, that probably is a turn kill. It's good teamwork,
that Glimmer
though.
saved his life, for sure. And now Hart on Arteezy. It's a tanky PL.
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting to the point where Sumail's going to hand things over to Arteezy. And I don't know what the answer for Immortals is going to be to that. As their supports move out to get a little bit of extra vision, they are at risk of being caught out.
This is the timing that we were kind of... When we talked about like a fast core and a slow core, the Spectre still really has yet to make any sort of a influence in this game at all. Because he doesn't have his one impactful item. I think he has his Radiance recipe coming out to him right now. But even just buying the Hood, it made it take so much longer for him to get to a stage where he felt impactful that even with Sumail playing as recklessly as he has, now the Radiance doesn't really feel that effective because A, there's a pipe up on the Magnus. One of the cores has a Heart. The other one's a Storm, who's probably not going to be locked down, you know, that easily in the fights. And now it's like, okay, this timing is later, and now we don't really feel like we have a good way of getting ourselves back into the game regardless.
7,000 net worth lead, so not the most overwhelming, but point being that it's just going to start snowballing more and more for EG, it feels like. Phantom Lancer will be fine, just harassing at the tower. While we're in this game, guys, by the way, quick reminder, the South American Grand Finals are finally beginning shortly here over on Beyond the Summit 2 channel. You can check it out. Blitz and Capitalist, they'll be casting it. That's a best of 5. Pain versus SG. Spot the TI on the line. It's been a 6-day qualifier, but 2 deserving teams in the end. So that's going to be starting soon over on BTS2. Beans Grit, meanwhile, back to this one. Phantom Lancer going to be locked down to S4. He'll try to stop it. Rudo on top of that on the PL, so he's still locked down, but in the back line's Bane. He's having to deal with Sumail. Sumail is out of mana once again. Supernova going to be activated by a Fly, forced him to run away. Finally, Poison Nova. That was a long-distance Poison Nova, though. They will take out Night Stalker. Ember Spirit, he gets caught by the Supernova explosion, and he'll end up falling. RP finally used to catch Commentators in the back lines. They're going to finish him off, too. Spectre, he's like, guys, I had to get out.
Wait, I mean, I'm not sure what the game plan was there that led in with a Fiend's Grip onto Arteezy, but nothing else came of it after that. I mean, maybe more credit to EG to catch those backliners, but it's tough at this point for Immortals to be able to get the jump. The only jump kind of they got is a Haunt to lead things in or something. It's very awkward, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Veno and the Spectre kind of fell flat for me this game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not completely over yet, but it's looking like EG are in a very dominant position.
The way these fights have gone, it just doesn't feel like Immortals has much hope, and this is going to be even worse. Spectre, we pulled right back in with a Vortex. Stops his TP, kills him. He's dead for another full minute. That means a full minute of not farming once again with that new Radiance of his. And even falling further behind on the side of Immortals. So EG no doubt played very well here in this game.
So there's a really good thing to take away from a match like this when you see EG playing, you know, I said reckless, like Sumail was just going in like hard all the time, just looking for fights. Even though he was dying in kind of awkward ways, if you look at the way that EG played, they never took their foot off the gas a single second.
True.
Like every single time they were looking to fight, they wanted to contest, and Immortals felt like they couldn't always match the aggression that EG were throwing out because they didn't have another hero that could come to fights because they had Spectre. So imagine if it was another safe laner that could actually, you know, be present in the game. I feel like that's where a lot of the teams are starting to fall behind now.
Sumail trying to finish this right here, right now in the backlines. Bane Glimmer Cape initially saving him, but not for long. They say killing spree for Sumail. The route of Atos on Night Stalker before he can get back to the fountain, but of course EG doesn't want to dive that far. Storm Spirit, Fiend's Grip will hit him. Support from EG is late to get there. The Ember Spirit jumps in with the Remnants, and they take him out. He's dead for 20 seconds due to the Bloodstone. So not the longest. They are going to get the tier 3. Yes, the Illusion will finish the job, and now EG will retreat as a team. So it kind of goes back to what you're just suggesting. I mean, sure, it's a death on Storm Spirit, but I don't think EG is looking to let up the gas anytime soon. In fact, Arteezy wants to go back in. Dubu, nice Nightmare save initially. Too many Illusions, so. And he will be beat down the Empower buff also on Phantom Lancer, helping him off. Out comes Velo with that Poison over Ryoyo, but he's just melting away, not taking enough. That Hooded Defiance ain't gonna save him most likely. And there you go, the Skewer to finish the job. Double kill coming out. I saw the Supernova go off in the back lines. Buyback galore. It just simply isn't enough for Immortals, and this could be the beginning of the end now for EG.
Other way.
Beginning of the end for Immortals.
In favor of EG.
Okay,
there we go.
We got it.
Yeah, I really feel like this is, well, another buyback. They're all buying back.
Give it one last shot there, Immortals. One last little go.
They can't just let EG walk away here. I mean, they might just die again, actually.
Yeah, I think this is your do or die for Immortals, which is mostly looking like a die, but let's see if they can get anything out of it. They're trying to put their focus onto Arteezy, but
That's a tough kill, though. Hard.
it is.
Makes it very
they
difficult.
may get it, though.
Another Hood. He has it coming up in 5 seconds. Not in time. Okay, so they are going to kill him, actually. It's a kill streak stopper for Dubu. Going his way. Fly also. Nope, Yule saves him initially on top of the Mystic Flare. Down goes Ember for the dieback. They do kill Phoenix, but obviously a massive cost once again. Dubu running away as the bolts are flying out. S-Fork lining up that Skewer. Puts him up with a Yule. Skewer setup. Not with the most follow-up, though. Gets him over the ledge, however, as Night Stalker did survive. That Glimmer Cape has been high value this game for Dubu. And they're going to kill Skywrath. So Immortals simply delaying. Yeah, I don't even know. They almost actually clear them all up, don't they? Wow.
Yeah, they got quite a bit of gold from getting
Storm
those kills.
even died there.
It's important, too, because they had spent, what, 4 or 5 buybacks? That
Yeah,
was,
they
I think,
did,
almost everyone bringing us back.
Everyone, yeah.
So it's a very costly defense, and obviously they're still down 2 sets of racks anyway. It feels like just delaying at this point for Immortals, trying to keep themselves alive as long as they can.
Yeah, I really liked what you guys were talking about there with the sort of making sure that you at least keep that one core forming. Like one of the perfectly emblematic moments of this game is like Sumail is diving in there basically towards the fountain, you know, drawing a ton of attention. There, Ember triple remnants onto him to secure the kill, and while that's happening, Arteezy is getting the tier 3 tower, and then they finish it off as it goes down. And it's not necessarily that either person is playing bad, that's the game plan. This core is going to draw attention, the other one is going to win the game.
Yeah, there's also something to be said for EG having 2 winning lanes and one like even-ish, maybe. The only lane that they could be even theoretically losing is their safe lane, because they did lose Arteezy, what, 2 times, I think, in lane, just dying. But again, that doesn't really stunt his farm as much as just having a Magnus and a Skywrath sitting against the Spectre, spamming spells, chasing this guy away from his tier 1.
Yeah.
He had a way harder laning phase in the PL, regardless of how many times, you know, Ryoya died versus Arteezy. And I think that's what really like breaks the game for Immortals, is that, okay, this Ember needs to do a ton. He's in an unfavorable 1v1 matchup with no one who is going to be able to help him except for maybe the Night Stalker, who can't really leave bottom because then the PL free farms, and you can't send anyone else down there.
Yeah.
So you're spreading yourself really, really thin by picking a safe laner that needs to be babysat and still losing that lane, and then having a matchup in a 1v1 where that hero on your team needs to own, and he can't. You're giving him like a dead game, basically.
A level 23 Storm Spirit as well, 23.5 even, so this is going to Yeah, fast level 25 at this rate. Continues on further. Spectre, he's desperate. He's just going to buy the Blade Mill at this point. Hope for the best, but I believe the Silver Edge is finished now, yeah, on Phantom Lancer, so that dispersion ideally will be broken.
Heyo!
S4, he's going deep. That's just in vain, though, so won't overcommit. Gonna catch him.
I mean, every hero counts when you're defending your base. Him being dead for 50 seconds is still pretty bad.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no buybacks, they know that. And obviously the middle, the bottom already cleared out. Let's go for the top, they say. Finish the job for sure. Against Immortals, Arteezy. Who do they get? They have the Aegis Storm, of course, yeah. Cheese. Well, he's also on Storm. How about that? So you can play extra reckless now. Mystic Flare, Venomancer possibly could be there. Runs away. Supernova in the front lines. Fly, that's definitely getting off.
No one can
Trying
hit
to
that
run
egg.
away. Immortals just trying to spread away. The RP hits Spectre on top of the Supernova. Remember, if you die, you're staying dead if you're Immortals. And that'll be the case right there. Samil is getting low, but there's that Aegis. Popping back up. So the Poison Nova doing a fair amount of work, but as expected, not nearly enough. Spectre and Night Stalker down. They're going to catch up to Venomancer, and the GGs will eventually be called by Immortals. Well played by Evil Geniuses. Looked a little sketchy there, you know, with that initial dive from Samil, dying and possible turn, but EG was always the better team this game.
Yeah, their draft was solid. Immortals, they had some really awkward pieces that didn't really fit together, in my opinion. I didn't really see what the Venom was supposed to do. I think they also early picked it, right? So
Yeah, it was the second pick, I want to say.
yeah, I didn't get it. Like I understood like the idea of having a Night Stalker +1 because that lane's strong, right? Like that lane is supposed to win. Okay, you killed the PL 2 times, but you didn't. There's a difference between hard contesting a hero and preventing him from farm, which is what they did to the Spectre, and then killing a hero 1 or 2 times, him walking to the lane with full HP again and just continuing to farm. And I think that's the biggest difference in the world in games like this.
Yeah, I kind of agree. A lot of times we'd be seeing like a Wind Ranger or something as that +1 that would go with a Night Stalker, or like a Leshrac, something else to try and get the punish. But oh, we got a little something on the ground there.
Another pillow, of course.
Look at Sumail.
I mean, he's pretty happy about his victory.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Still feels like he can kind of do what he pleases and get away with it, because even in those overextensions, Immortals would have to use all of their toolkit pretty much just to get that storm down.
Yeah.
And then all the meanwhile, you have Arteezy farming up on the side. It seemed like a mirror matchup with slow core and fast core, but pretty much those other 3 spots is where the difference really was. Who they were going to set up in the off lane, who was going to be starting the fight, and who could, you know, bring assistance to both the Ember and the Spectre.
I was going to say, I'm curious on Spectre's win percentage these regionals because I feel like he hasn't had the most success. He's 4-9 now in 13 games, so not to say that was the ultimate reason why they lost, but it definitely a slower paced core. It takes a while to get online, and you know, when you're forcing, there were several haunts that they forced early on before the Radiance even, and he can do some decent damage, but as Lyrical pointed out, I don't even know how many points he had in his W in some of those earlier engagements, so is he really doing the most damage at that point? So
Yeah.
something else to think about.
What about Bane? What's Bane at on that list?
What is Bane at?
I'm
Let's
curious.
see.
I see a lot of Bane, but I also see a lot of Bane
Bane
lose.
is 14-20.
He's
so
right middle of the road there. All right, he must have been having
Is
more
that
success
has to be
elsewhere.
throughout the whole qualifier, right?
the
Yeah.
regionals, just
Yeah.
the regionals for all the regions, though, yeah. Yeah, this has been interesting looking at this. There's definitely some interesting ones that stand out. The overall most played hero is Wind Ranger. No surprise there. Anyways,
That here's awesome.
plenty to go over there. You can check it out on Liquipedia yourself. We're going to take another break, though. As you see at the bottom, this time it will be Optic versus Jasut, a squad, also known as Just a Squad, but
Is that really how they spell it? Or did
that's
we
how they
spell
spelled it. That's how they say
Just
it.
all right.
Jasut.
They're so edgy. I like it. I can't wait to see their edgy Dota.
Yeah, we've got to see them at least once yesterday, maybe a couple times. They look solid, but no doubt Optic definitely the team to beat there, and especially now Optic again. They're playing for first place right now, currently in a 3-way tie with Storm and Complexity. In case you missed it earlier with Complexity defeating Storm. We're just really getting kicked off though once again with D number 2. Plenty more Dota coming at you guys. Stay tuned. North America action continues next.